Yo, what's up guys, it's RhythmActual here. Today I'm going to be going over the Bloodhunt Archetype solo and trio tier list. I'm going to be going over who I think is the best class to be playing if you want to win your solo games, who I think is the best comp team that you can put together to win your trios matches. Obviously it's all subjective, but I do have a lot of time in the game at this point. I have pretty good stats. If you haven't checked me out on Twitch, please do. Come by, let me know what you think of the videos. You can see the link here. And then on top of that, you know, obviously this is all just my perspective, but I mean, this is kind of the trend that I'm seeing in the game currently when I play solos and trios. Let's just jump into it. Saboteur for solos is the best and Prowler is the best, and this is just solos right now, right? The reason that I'm saying that is because Saboteur and Prowler have the Q ability that makes them kind of fade into the darkness. You lose sight of them when they do hit that Q. On top of that, they can take damage, but I mean, it's kind of hard to track them. Occasionally, if you know they're running in a straight line or something like that, you can beam them out of it, but for the most part, it's a really good ability. I mean, you lose your footstep audio, you move faster. There's a bit of a burst of speed with it to help you get out of situations. So you can really put yourself in weird spots and escape weird spots. And if you're getting third party, you can kind of just like Q straight out of there and look for a good spot to heal. I think Prowler's just a little bit better because you can track those low health enemies. So if you know you're fighting another Prowler or Saboteur and you have them really weak and they Q away, you do get that red blood trail. And that's going to let you track them down and, you know, finish your kill and, you know, pull out your melee weapon, heal off of them or however you want to do it. Maybe get the execute for the full heal as well. I just think they're both in a really good spot, but Prowler's sneaking ahead. I think Prowler does a little too much. Being able to track enemies, the bats going on cooldown as soon as they come out of your hand, you just are constantly spamming the bats, especially if you know you pick up those boosts off the ground, off of the humans around to give you decreased cooldown ability time. I think Prowler just is really strong right now. I would also like to note that I feel like Brute, Vandal, Siren, and Muse, well maybe not Muse, but Siren, Vandal, and Brute, they all feel odd still. I think they need to be tweaked a little bit more. Obviously, the game is in early access, so I'm sure we'll see something from the devs soon to kind of address it. But with the Brute and Vandal, whenever I use the jump, I feel like I'm rubber banding. I feel like I'm moving in molasses almost. But with the Saboteur and the Prowler, that Q's instant. I mean, you're off the scene, on the scene, however you want to play it, but it's so reactive. I mean, it feels good. And the Vandal and the Brute, I just don't think they're optimized enough yet to really feel that great, which is why I'm going to put both of them in medium. I don't think there's a bad class. You can win with anybody right now. I just think if these abilities got tweaked just a little bit, they'd be a lot better because they're so inconsistent almost. Like the shield works sometimes and it doesn't work sometimes, and the jump works sometimes and it doesn't. Sometimes you get rubber banded. I'm going to put them in medium. I personally don't play them just because I don't feel like they work. I think they're cool. They're cool classes. Hopefully we'll see them fixed soon, but that's why I'm playing Saboteur right now. Siren, I'm going to put in medium as well. Again, I don't think there's a bad or a D. I just think that Nosferatu classes are performing exceptionally well because they're working as intended. The Siren Flash is good, but most of the time when I get Siren Flash and someone's flying into me with it, we kind of beam them before the flash even goes off, or they die as soon as the flash does go off. It's not just a flash, it does disorient and kind of slow as well. It's a good concussive kind of ability, but it takes a lot of setup. And I don't necessarily know if you always have that setup available. I'm not sure what they could do to tweak that to make it feel a little more responsive and better, but because there's that kind of like long wind up with it, I feel like it doesn't play out how you think it's going to a lot of the time, which is why I'm going to put them in medium just because, you know, I feel like there's better options. Muse I'm going to put in good. A lot of people don't realize it, but you know, the Muse does do the channel heal and the channel is a little slow, but that's okay. You don't want it to be too OP because it does heal teammates as well. The big thing here is it's a 50 HP burst heal. 50 HP just for hitting the button. You don't have to channel that. So if you're getting chased down or, you know, you're about to get third partied, your teammates are around you. Obviously, this is the solos list, but Muse has a lot of good use just because of a 50 HP burst heal. That's really good. Plus the teleports, it's a good ability. It works, you know. I think it's better than the Vandal and Brute jump. Personally, I'm going to put Muse above Siren, Brute, and Vandal just because of that. That 50 HP heal can really get you out of tough situations and kind of like trick people a little bit when they think that you're like, you know, one shot or something. Maybe you get called one shot and somebody chases you and then you hit your 50 HP burst heal and then you double pump them with a shotgun. You can do a lot of cool things like that, which is why I definitely would put Muse in the good category rather than the medium. But no matter what, I do think the green classes are at the best, undoubtedly. And it's truly just because I feel like they work. Maybe once we see some tweaks and some balancing, that'll change. And if that happens, we'll definitely be making a new tier list for solos. But right now, I think Saboteur, Prowler are your go-to. Saboteur's traps and solos really do come in handy a lot of the time when you're getting third partied. Some people don't know this, but you can actually shoot your own trap, like in this clip here.
Oh, he's like 1-6. There's two.
was kind of gross. And when you do that, I mean, you can really turn a whole fight. Saboteur for solos, me personally, I'm picking it over Prowler, but I like to play really aggressively, and I think Prowler kind of plays that lurk and then, you know, find your info and then make a play off of that. So we'll just jump into the trio tier list now. I'll kind of go over comps that I think might work and maybe even in the future be a little better. I think Prowler right now is the best in trios. Again, that's just giving info to your teammates, being able to spam them as much as you can, having your Q ability to get in and out of fights. Really think Prowler just does it all right now, plus being able to track down, you know, low health enemies and call them out to your teammates. Pretty invaluable right now. If somebody is on the ground and they teleport away and you're having to fight their teammates and you lose track of them, like the Prowler can just find the down people for free. So I think Prowler just does a little too much, like I said. Hopefully we'll see some balancing changes soon on that. I think it needs to be tweaked up just a little bit. Saboteur, I'm going to put in good. This is the class that I play the most of. I think it's really fun to do some crazy plays in trios with the gas traps. You can throw a trap on the ground and shoot it while you're resing a teammate to make yourself harder to see. You can use it to finish kills if you know you don't want to give up the high ground or give up position and you have somebody at your feet and you're waiting for the next person. Throw a trap at your feet, shoot it while they're sitting in the gas. They're going to be taking that damage. Their teammate's going to take damage when they swing in on you, and you can really turn that fight. So I definitely think Saboteur is good. I think in terms of trios and having teammates, though, the Prowler's scan is just way better. Still definitely a good class. I highly suggest it. If you like to play aggressively, you can do some really cool stuff with the Saboteur. The next up, we're going to do Muse. I want to put Muse in good as well. Being able to heal your teammates is that like support role, really invaluable. Once the game really gets to that stage where we have more players and we can get a ranked mode going, I think Muse is going to be on almost every team, just because to turn off one team and fight a third party or something like that, you're going to want that instant heal, whether it's 50, whether it's 175, it doesn't matter. If they get a full heal off, it's free. So that's why Muse is going to go in the good for the trio list. I'm going to put Siren in medium. I just don't think the flash is worth it. A lot of the time you have to, position yourself weirdly to get the flash off right. And most of the time what I see and what I do with the people I play with is we just beam the Siren when they're going to flash in. So I don't necessarily think it's the best class, not the worst, but definitely possible to do more with these classes up here, I would say. Okay, so getting into the Brute. The Brute's going to have the shield ability where you punch out the shield. It'll block projectile damage and things like that, which is really good. But again, I feel like Brute just isn't working as intended right now. I'll see sometimes when I'm watching some of my friends play it, they'll throw the shield out and they still get beamed through it somehow. It's not actually blocking where they're at. I'm not sure if there's a hitbox that's centered and it's not necessarily the entirety of the visual effect, but I just personally feel like Brute's not working as intended. The jump's a little iffy for me sometimes as well. So I would definitely put Brute in medium. When it works, it feels great. You can do some cool plays. You can help your teammates out in a support, perspective. But right now, I feel like Brute could be a little bit better, especially compared to these classes. Muse, I think, is in a perfect spot. It plays its role so well, but Brute is just, it's just strange. You also do take less damage as this archetype for both. Even then, I feel like it's just not that great. The Vandal, I would definitely say, is better. I'll throw Vandal in good. It does have that knock-up effect. And when you do have that and a pump shotgun and you put those two things together, it makes for a deadly combo. And you can really hurt somebody with it. So you jump in, you do your slam, they're up in the air, you 120 pump them, 120 pump them, and you move on to the next target. So I think Vandal's in a good spot. In terms of good team comps, I actually personally think that Prowler, Saboteur, and Muse is like S tier comp. You have a lot of engage and disengage with this, and also just you can really zone people out, or you can really engage on people. You get info with your Prowler. Your Saboteur can run in, throw a trap down, start fighting and skirmishing. Muse teleports in, heals up. Prowler comes in after they've been kind of lurking, or maybe they pushed in with a Saboteur, and you can do a lot of damage. Another comp that I think is really good is Prowler, Vandal, Muse. I think this comp, I'm not sure exactly what it is about it, but it feels good, to say the least. That's a really simple way of putting it, but your Vandal can really psycho in, hit that ground, shotgun out, double pump, Prowler's scanning and giving info, Muse is in there healing the Vandal. I think that's really good. It's just a deadly mix of all of the classes. Saboteur is really just a personal preference. I think just having two of these on a team is a lot better than only having one, just because the Q is so good for engaging and disengaging, and you can be so fast with getting into the action. So I would honestly say Siren and Brute, you can definitely win games with these, but me personally, in the most absolute I want to win every game, I want to run them. If you're playing to have fun, you're still going to be able to win games with Siren and Brute. I have friends that play these classes and we win a ton of games still. It's not even an issue, but this is my opinion on what is the absolute best. There are no bad classes. There are no classes that you pick where it feels like you're just going to lose the game because you have one of them on your team. I just think that these classes outperform these by a long mile. So that's kind of my tier list right now. Again, this is being recorded on September 27th, so we might be seeing some updates soon. It's been a little bit since the last one, and I know the last time they talked about it, they felt the game was in a good spot, but now that they've gotten more data, maybe we're going to see, some new patch notes and some buffs and nerfs. I think a couple classes could definitely use it. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. I'm streaming on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Some days really early in the morning, 4 a.m. PST to around 8:30 PST, or I'll be streaming in the afternoons or early evenings from around 5 to 8:30 p.m. PST. So come by the stream, say what's up, let me know what you guys thought about the video. Make sure you leave a comment as well and let me know, what do you think? Maybe you think Siren's the best class in the game and I'm completely wrong. Please enlighten me, let me know. I'm totally open to being wrong, I promise you that. I really appreciate the support though, guys. Thanks for checking out the video. I hope you all have a great day. We'll see you next time.